Welcome to Highway to SNL, the Saturday Night Live podcast from the UK. Two British Saturday Night Live fans, both in our early 40s, who've grown up loving the show. Usually on each episode, we pick a cast member and talk about their careers, their movies they've done, other TV shows they've done, and our favourite sketches by them. But we've had a bit of a break. And since we started the break, there's been SNL UK. So we're coming back and we thought we'd start with a special episode talking about the first few episodes of Saturday Night Live UK. My name's Andy. I'm a podcaster who usually does nerdy horror podcasts and things like that, as well as the Martin and Lewis experts on sort of improvised sort of comedy podcasts. I'm joined by Chris Asker. It's his podcast, really. Chris Asker is a singer-songwriter, all-around entertainer from Ipswich. We know each other through the pub we both drink in. So we thought it'd be nice to bring this podcast back. And the first few episodes we put out last year got quite a bit of feedback. A lot of people seem to like it. We've taken a break, but now we're back, starting with this very special episode. Not live from Ipswich, this is Highway to SNL. My name's Andy.
My name's Chris.
Welcome back. It's been a while. I didn't realise how long it had been since we'd done an episode. Over 6 months.
Yeah.
We've taken out a hiatus. We're back, but a different show, a special show before we get back into talking about cast members from the American SNL. Last time we done a podcast, there was only the American SNL, wasn't there?
There was, yeah.
So we're back. There's been 3 episodes of SNL UK, and we're just going to talk to you about it, really, because this is something that, for me anyway, came a bit out of the blue. Were you expecting it?
No, I mean, I feel like we should eat our words, because we spoke about this when it was announced.
Yeah, so the first thing I was going to ask you. Yeah.
Yes. I believe that the 3 points we said that neither of us were confident about it.
No, definitely.
We said that we didn't think it would work doing it in the same format that the American SNL is.
Yes.
And we also said we didn't think they'd use only up-and-coming comedians and actors.
No.
And all 3 of those points were horribly wrong.
Yes. I vaguely remember talking about it now you say that, because it was it on the Adam Sandler episode?
It was on the Adam Sandler episode.
Yeah, well, no, they just announced it, and we didn't really know anything.
Yeah.
And as I say, it's been on 3 weeks now, Sky TV, and yeah, firstly, it just is exactly the same format as the American one, and even the sets and stuff look very much like it.
Yeah.
The intro looks like it, and the cast members, even though a few of them look vaguely familiar, I didn't actually know who any of them were, which for me worked.
Yeah.
But did you recognise any of them?
So I only know 2 of them. So it's Anya Magliano, who does the update, and Emma City. But I only know them because they've been on Taskmaster, which also in the UK does tend to have these up-and-coming comedians.
Yeah.
They're the only 2 that I recognise going into this.
Yeah.
So
yeah, so first episode, Tina Fey hosting, which I think is a brilliant choice.
Perfect choice. Absolutely perfect choice.
And what was it? Wolf Alice?
No, it was
Wet Leg.
Wet Leg.
Now, I always say Hot Leg when I'm talking about them. Hot Leg, if you don't know, was the side project from Justin Hawkins. It wasn't him. It was a Wet Leg. So wet, not hot. There we go. And they're a British band?
They're a British band.
Yeah, I thought they were a newish band who was still on the rise, and I thought that was a good choice.
Yeah, I mean, the songs they played, from what I understand, are off of their second album, but they've only had one album, well, it's only one big album,
yeah,
which was a big hit a couple of years ago.
Yeah, so I imagine this is their follow-up to that.
Yeah.
And yeah, fine choice for me. I'm not the sort of band I'd go out and see, but one thing with SNL over the years, it's introduced me to a lot of bands. You know, some better, some worse. I've never heard of them. It's 1975 until Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Still wish I hadn't. But no, I thought they were fine. And yeah, Tina Fey, starting with her opening monologue.
Yeah, I thought it was exactly what you expect from a seasoned SNL vet monologue. I like the way that she introduced the show. For people who may not know, because I know certainly, well, the whole point of this podcast was the fact that we're two UK SNL fans in a country where SNL isn't a huge cultural phenomenon.
And it's only recently, I didn't even realise that, it's on Now TV now, the American version. I don't know how long it's been on there for.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know whether they've just started getting it since this new one's been introduced. I mean, there's a season and a half on there. And now, each week, on a Sunday, I tend to watch the American and the UK one, which is very nice. I work 12 hours on a Sunday, and it's nice to put my feet up and watch. But when you watch it without the ads, it's only an hour and 15 each episode.
Exactly.
So really cool. But we didn't mention the first ever UK cold opening.
Yes.
With it started with a political one.
Yes. Yeah, it was. I think I quite liked the fact that it was a very classic SNL cold opening. We all think of the classic SNL cold opens always involve the president.
Yeah.
They say because it's easy, because they don't need a set.
Yeah.
And they can rely on cast members who they know they can just do an impression for 10 minutes. Obviously, Dana Carvey, I still believe, holds the record for that reason of most cold opens, because he just used to do Bush.
Yeah.
But I like the fact they threw in a little bit the more modern things with, you know, the what would be the term, the influencer. Yeah,
which was and it was sort of classic SNL, because you had the straight impressionist.
Yeah.
And then the bizarre character.
Yeah.
That's fictional, but you know people like it.
And I quite like the fact that it introduced probably who. I think all the casts were great, but I think they've not segregated them into, you know, the main players and the feature artists.
No.
But I think that clearly showed who the main cast was.
Yeah.
And so, George Fouracres, who clearly is the impressionist, but also clearly a bit of an all-rounder as well, and clearly as the episode goes on, the person behind my favourite sketch in the episode.
Yeah, I'll say this. I think he was the stealer of the first episode.
Oh, 100%.
Whereas in the next two episodes, he still stands out, but other people are given more to do.
Yeah.
And he great impressionist and an all-rounder. And also in that sketch, it was Jack Sheep, was it?
Jack Shepp as the young,
as the influencer who from this episode he's the one, he does some impressions later on, but he sort of stands out as being the madcap one. If you're given something bizarre to do, it's him. And we'll talk about it more as we talk about it. We'll just talk about some of the sketches, shall we? And who was the other one in that?
It was Hamid Amatashan. I hope I pronounced that correctly. As David Lammy.
That's why I left it to you to say.
Who is clearly, I think, has been shown to be, I guess, the glue character.
Yeah.
Because he appeared to be in more sketches than anybody else.
Yeah. And another one who's in that first episode, it's kind of the straight man to a lot of the sketches.
Yeah.
But very charismatic, and that helps.
Yeah.
And I thought the cold opening was a solid start. And I think as well, many people who would have watched it and not seen an SNL before would have been a bit like, what's this? And then, of course, we won't spoil the sketches. We'll talk about what we think, but we won't spoil any of the jokes.
No.
And then they say live from London, Saturday night, which to me, I watched the 3 episodes, still sounds weird. Live from London, not live from New York. If I was on the show, which will never happen, I know I'd mess up and say live from New York.
Yeah.
And then opening credits, very like the American.
So like the American, but also
very London as well.
Very London, yeah. I like the fact that they introduced every single cast member by name.
Yep.
In the opening credits, which the American one doesn't tend to do anymore, because they've got a cast of like 40 people.
Yeah. They don't say the name, but
they don't say the name. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing I've noticed with watching. I've watched the last 3 of the American one. I've enjoyed them. The Jack Black one and Ryan Gosling one for me stood out. But there's so many cast members now, and I still regularly rewatch the 70s SNL, where there was like 6, and then people started to come through, and then in the 90s you'd have the main players, and it just, the American one seems like the credits goes on for 5 minutes, whereas this new one, there's what, 7 cast members?
9.
9, is this it?
Nine cast members, including obviously the 2 hosts of Update.
Oh, that's yeah, true.
So
yeah.
seven cast members, and then the 2 hosts.
Yeah.
So we won't spoil the monologue, but it was the first introduction of, I think, the biggest break from American SNL, which is the swears.
Oh yeah.
Straight in there with the swears.
There's a bomb.
There is a bomb, and then a brilliant piece of swearing by the guest. Well, the guest in the audience, Michael Cera.
Yeah, there's a few cameos, isn't there?
And Michelle Coughlin. Michael Cera, old Michael Cera with a beard, scares me a little bit.
And did we not have Graham Norton as well?
Oh, and Graham Norton, yes, with the wonderful sitcom impressions from Tina Fey, which was, I was not expecting, but the highlight of the monologue.
Yeah. But one thing I will say as well, with the choice of hosts, obviously starting with an American one, and then the ones in episodes 1 and 2, this just reminded me, a lot of people online said, oh, why isn't Graham Norton hosting? And so they're getting younger people through. Yeah. And I think that's the way to do it. I mean, I know Tina Fey, she's older than me, a lot older than me, but she's still, when I think of American comedians, she's not in the older breed. She's kind of mid. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
She was on SNL like after people like Will Ferrell and things like that, wasn't she?
During that period,
there was a crossover, but
so she would have left. She left after the second season of 30 Rock. So she was through that period.
Yeah. She stayed on longer than him, but I think started just after him.
Yeah.
So 2000s, really, wasn't it?
Oh no, she was a writer before him.
Oh, of course she was. Yeah. But on the show.
Yeah.
And then after the monologue, actually, you've written down every sketch. I'll just put one that stand out.
I have. So after it was the advert.
That's what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, because I've said before, I love a parody advert. I love they got it in quickly. Yeah. Underage. Just brilliant.
Yeah, that's one that's doing the rounds online as well.
Of course, when they knew that would go immediately viral.
And a very well done, near the mark, I'd say, very near the mark.
But I think they've set their stall out to say that we are going to push the same boundaries that SNL has always done.
Yes, and we are in 2026, so it's good they've done it. And I think as well, in these opening few sketches, they have said, right, we're doing this. This is the style of humour. There's no lead-ins. You start straight with political stuff, straight with the monologue, which pushes the language barrier, and then in a sketch that you wouldn't get pre 9 p.m.
Yeah.
And also in that, you do more or less say, we're going to have a go at everybody.
Yeah.
Because there's a few things in that sketch they get in at certain people.
Yeah.
And obviously with the political stuff, it's getting at certain people.
Yeah.
And but also I think there's nothing, they are making fun of everyone, but bar a few things in Update, and I think it's people who deserve it. It's not actually nasty. Like the Starmer impression is just, he's nervous, not knowing what he's doing. It's like the old Dana Carvey, even just like Chevy Chase when he was the president, just falling over and being daft. It's so exaggerated.
It did really make me think of Carvey as George Bush with that he's just a bumbling idiot who can't even speak.
Yeah.
Which obviously Will Ferrell did brilliantly, also doing his son, George W. Bush Jr. So it's a very good start, I'd say. And the next sketch was David Attenborough and his famous people.
Yeah, this was.
I know it was a highlight for you.
Well, some of it was
impression.
There were
impression.
There was several impressions I liked on this, but the main one was my mate Jack again, wasn't it?
Yeah, and
Jack. I'm doing Diana.
God bless her soul.
Which
R.I.P. in peace.
Another thing as well, where when you look at, say, something like the Windsors, they never mentioned Diana.
No,
that was one of these things. But it was an impression that was kind of so OTT that you could not laugh at it.
But it wasn't offensive towards her at all. It was just her.
Yeah.
Which is so like her coyness and her hiding behind
Yeah.
it was just spot on, but for a guy to do it as well.
Yeah, so there was basically all the cast members being a different famous person for a Last Supper hosted by David Attenborough. Don't really want to say more, watch it because it's mad. Imagine having a meal with Diana and Freddie Mercury. That's all I can say. But I thought that was pretty cool. Then, was it Update next?
No, it's Boovies Go to the Film.
Oh, of course, yeah. That was...
So another great term by Hamid.
Yeah.
Which just, it's a simple joke. It's one of my favourite kinds of SNL sketches because it is one simple joke done over and over and over again.
Yeah.
But it gets more great the more times he does it.
Yeah, and Tina Fey in the sketch as well.
Yeah.
And... yeah, it was a good one. Yeah. And well paced. It was quite a short sketch. Mm-hmm. Then was it Update?
No. Then it was the pregnancy sketch, which I thought was one of the lower points for me. With the he's not shy. He's just pretending to be shy for attention.
Oh, I thought that was later on.
No, that was next.
Yeah, that was I think that this is a sketch which is a great premise. There were funny bits in it, but it did go on too long.
Yeah.
But
I think it was clearly a sketch for people younger than us. I think.
Yeah, and but it was mad. It did make chuckle a few times. Yeah, but as you say, one of the weaker ones for us.
Yeah.
But it might be they might get that baby back and be a reoccurring. Yeah. You never know. And then that's when they're still testing the water.
Yeah, of course. So, yeah. Then it's Update.
Oh, I've got nothing to say about Update. No.
Then it's Update.
Yeah.
I think brilliant. Both of them fantastic as the hosts.
Yeah, it's is it Paddy Young?
Paddy Young and Anya Magliano.
Yeah.
I think she's very much got a Tina Fey thing about her, the way she delivers it.
Yeah.
And he's very Seth Meyers, I think, in his delivery.
He is, but I'd say as well, he's more your British humour.
Yes.
He's more MASH Report.
Yeah.
You know, but with a lot of the shorter, almost one-liners, that's very SNL.
Yeah.
So I think they've got a good pairing there. They seem to bounce off each other well.
Yeah.
It's well written, and there was some... The bits what really made me laugh were about a former Prince. Made me laugh a lot.
Yeah, the artist formerly known as Prince.
Yeah. Andrew. Really good stuff. And you got guests on it like you get on SNL.
Yeah.
One for which really stood out for me on the first episode.
Yeah.
Captain Birdseye.
Captain Birdseye. Yes, he sells fish fingers and also chicken dippers, and for some reason, peas.
Yeah, and that's another one that I don't know. I don't imagine you get that in America, so that's a very British thing.
Yeah.
And who was it who played him? Because he's good.
That was the actor. No, the actor I do not. Oh no, the actor who his picture is not on this thing.
He. I started following him on Instagram this morning, so I don't know.
Not all of. See, we tried to be. Have the photos up in front of us, and we did not have.
No, that's weird, isn't it?
Picture,
but also it's my memory's terrible, right? And there's only been the 3 episodes, which I've watched once each.
Al Nash,
okay.
the big guy. I don't know. That's fine. Say the big guy.
Yeah.
He's the big guy.
Yeah.
It's Al Nash. He's very much the character actor.
Yeah, he's
very much a Belushi.
Yes, yeah, and he looks familiar as well. I think he may have had small roles in stuff. But yeah, my memory's terrible, and with all these people I've not heard of before, memorising the names will be difficult for me. I still struggle with cast members from the 90s. That's why I like what we usually do on this show is we talk about one and focus on that.
Yeah, and then we forget the members who are in sketches with them.
Yeah, apart from Rob Schneider, who will then offend.
Yeah, of course, because he's a dick. Every episode, Schneider's got to get a stabbing.
Yeah. So Update, I think a highlight, and I think in all 3 episodes so far been highlights. But I think over the years, if you've got Now TV, the very first series of SNL, if you're in UK, very first series of SNL is on there, and you'll see Update develop on that.
Yeah.
because it was always good, but it was kind of the Chevy Chase thing to start with, and then it develops, and then when Chase left, you got two people on, Jane Curtin and Dan Aykroyd, and then it grew and grew and grew, and it's a lot longer now than it used to be, and I think the length it's long on this, but it really works. I think
for me, the highlight of SNL has always been Update. It's always been my favourite part. Probably my favourite cast members and my favourite writing has probably always been in Update. So, you can name pretty much all of them. Tina Fey and Amy Poehler are brilliant. I mentioned his name earlier and it's gone. Who took over from Tina Fey?
Seth Meyers.
And
of course, Norm Macdonald.
I was getting to Norm Macdonald last, obviously. And the other guy who was before Norm.
Dennis Miller.
I
like Dennis Miller. I do.
Dennis Miller's brilliant.
Yeah.
Makes you feel stupid.
Yeah. Have you ever seen, I've probably mentioned this on this podcast before, when Dana Carvey does an impression of Dennis Miller to Dennis Miller? That's one of my favourite bits.
But yeah, so I'm glad they got it right.
Yeah.
Because that was the bit that I think we said when we spoke about it before, I thought that'd be the bit that they might get right the best, because that's the closest to SNL comedy we've had in the UK before, with stuff like the MASH report.
Yeah.
And
11 o'clock show, things like that.
11 o'clock show, exactly. And yeah, they nailed it.
Yeah. And it works for me very well, because obviously, well, not obviously, but I don't follow the news that much. But British news, it will come up on my Facebook, I'll hear it, we'll have conversations. Whereas, as much as I love the American one, there is the odd joke I just don't get.
Yeah.
You know, so with this, all of it, bang, 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 hits.
Yeah.
And it is the mix, again, it's mainly satire, political stuff, but then you get daft stuff like Captain Birdseye.
Yeah.
And that's what I like that mix of humour.
Yeah. Then it was Shakespeare sketch, which again I thought was good. Went on too long.
Yeah.
But the first C-bomb ever in SNL history.
Yes.
Twice, I believe, in that sketch.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And that was kind of spoofing Hamlet a bit.
Yeah.
But not that much.
Not that much. Yeah. Other than they mentioned his son was called Hamlet.
Yeah.
That was it. Then we had Paddington, which.
Now, this is a sketch, the Paddington Experience sketch, that you knew exactly what the joke was going to be the second it started, but it was really well done. So if it was in less capable hands, because it's an obvious joke what's going to happen, and it is a one joke 4-minute sketch, it could have failed miserably. But I thought it was done well and was funny. Yeah. So and that's another one that I think will be doing the shares. And also it was quite gory.
It was gory. And then we had the bra fitting,
which for me was the weakest sketch of the whole thing.
It was the weakest sketch.
Yeah.
Again, maybe because it wasn't playing to us, because we don't. It's it's two men.
Yeah.
I thought Tina Fey was alright in it.
It felt very 80s era SNL for me.
Yeah.
Nice premise. Dragged on a bit. Didn't quite hit the mark.
Weird cameo at the end for no reason.
Which I can't even remember.
The guy came on who I didn't even recognise who it was.
Yeah, so that's why I don't remember, because I didn't know who it was. Yeah. But I say we're not that young, and we don't wear bras publicly. Yeah. So might not have been for us. But that's one of the great things about this show. There's so much going on that if a sketch does not quite hit the mark, the next one would be good, which the next one I believe was.
It was. Well, it is my favourite sketch I've seen so far on British SNL. So I don't, because this type of comedy has never come up before on this podcast, because it's not an American thing. But I love British absurdist crazy comedy. So we're talking your Bob Mortimers, we're talking
Top of the Hill, Harry Hill,
yeah, that kind of thing, which is it's just stupid, but it's intelligent, but stupid. And so yes, 45 seconds of 4 Acres sketch with "What kind of Irish is your granddad?" just had me in fits of laughter.
Yeah, it was bonkers. At first I was like, what? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was very Reeves and Mortimer for me.
Yeah. It was like he was doing a Bob Mortimer impression.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's got that face. He looks to me like a cross between Bob Mortimer and what's the guy who was in The Office and The Hobbit?
Oh, yeah, him.
Freeman.
Martin Freeman.
He looks like a cross between them two to me, and he can act, and he can do the bizarre, and he can do the impressions. I like that, and I'm quite surprised it hasn't been back in the next two episodes.
I was expecting it to be a constant thing. I was expecting it to be like when Schmeigel used to do his little sketches and little cartoons in the middle of it. I thought that was going to be a continuing thing.
Yeah, it still might be. We're only three episodes in. And that was a car horn, if you heard it. Yeah. And that was the last sketch, I believe.
That was the last sketch.
Yeah. So we'll quickly just talk about the second episode, which was Wolf Alice as the musical guest. Yeah. And another band who I feel exactly the same about them as I do Hot Wet Leg. And I don't watch it live. I watch it like as I say on the Sunday. I don't skip any of the music. I watch it as if I'm watching it live because there's no adverts, so I can do that. And I can, if I'm not that into the song, I can look on my phone and stuff. Yeah. And I'd be like, Chris, why are you watching it? He's like, Andy, I could get up in the morning, leave me alone. So this was presented by the Irish fellow, wasn't it? I've written his name wrong. Who there?
Do you know what? I didn't write his name down, and that's what I'm.
Because he's in loads of stuff,
and he's mostly famous in that not a porno, isn't he?
Oh, 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah. So
if I type that into,
I was going to say James Doohan, but no, that was Scotty. James Dornan.
Is it James? Because I've written June Dornan, which isn't his name. Interestingly, when I Google it, 50 Shades of Black comes up first. Which is the spoof of it, isn't it? Yeah. It's Jamie Dornan.
Jamie Dornan.
Who
James Doohan.
To be honest, I don't know if I've seen anything with him in.
No.
Probably have. He's 43 years of age, which means he's younger than me. So he was in The Fall. Belfast. I've seen Belfast. He was in that, obviously. But I thought he was pretty good, actually.
I thought he was good. I will say, overall, I thought the second episode was not as strong as the first.
But my favourite sketch so far was in the second episode.
Oh.
So, but we won't go through it quite sketch by sketch.
No, because I don't think there's that many standouts as much as the first. But
I thought the monologue was good.
Yeah.
Update was good.
Yeah.
The spoof advert, Beans Brothers.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, that
just where that sketch went, I was not expecting.
Dark, hilarious.
I won't spoil the joke, but just any sketch that has the term chemical castration in it is a winner.
Yeah, that stood out, and for me, and it is my favourite sketch of the whole 3 episodes so far. You've not seen the third one, but I'll quickly mention it in a bit.
Yeah.
Was the British theme pub song.
British theme pub,
which is basically when Brits go abroad, as the term, on holiday, and they spend all their time in a British theme pub. And there's a song about that, which I thought was spot on.
Yeah,
I thought it was hilarious. Other sketches I liked. There was the hostage sketch.
Yep, I like that.
Was weird, but it didn't. It went a different way to what I thought it was going to go.
Yeah,
and very.
But it let the host shine. The thing is, he came across brilliantly in that.
Yeah, and who was the cast member with me? I can't remember, but she was really good.
And that was Emma Siddy.
That's it. Yeah, she was great, and that was really good. Oh, and there was another. It was like a cutaway sketch. It wasn't done live. A sketch about your clocks going forward.
See, that was my highlight for this episode, which again was very Reeves and Mortimer, with Jules Holland coming to take your hour back.
Yeah.
Again, George Fouracres, I imagine he had his hand in the writing of that, from what I've seen of him so far.
Yeah.
Yes, the scary Jules Holland coming to take his hour back.
And this sketch I like because there's a lot of stuff for the younger audience, but for this, I don't know whether sort of 17, 18-year-olds would know who Jules Holland is. No. So that's something thrown in for us oldies, and just a little throwaway things he'd say in it. Just made me crack up. He'd say that artist and an album title, which isn't. And it just that made me laugh. When I rewatched that one this morning, it still made me laugh.
Yeah.
So that was really funny, and
the fact is, some of the cast, the majority of the cast were born in the 90s.
Yeah.
Some of the cast were born. They're younger than us, but they were born in the 80s.
I think when I looked, the oldest cast member is 37.
Which I believe is George Foraker's. I think it might be. Or
I don't know if I looked how old it is, but one of the female members is 37.
It might be Emma City, actually. She's 35.
Yes,
it's Celeste String.
Yeah. And she's another one who looks familiar. Well, I actually think I might have seen her in a proper advert or something over the years.
She was in Last Night in Soho.
I have seen that.
There we go.
Twice. I'll have to watch that again now.
She's in the Windsors.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and she's in this country as well.
Who is she in the Windsors?
Let's have a look.
Probably one of the more well-known characters. That's why.
She was Eugenie. Princess Eugenie. She was Princess Eugenie.
Okay, yeah. That's weird.
Yeah.
I think they might have had two actors for that. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah. This isn't a podcast about the Windsors. But the Windsors, I will mention, when that first started, if you don't know it, it's a sitcom with Harry Enfield and many famous British comedians spoofing the royal family, the Windsors. And I thought it looked terrible. I really thought it wouldn't be funny. And then I watched it and I love it. Mm-hmm. I went to the Windsors musical in London with the cast members and it was really funny. And they went, Harry Enfield went off the rails of some of the stuff he said.
What a surprise.
There was one bit he didn't last, so he just said a lot of swearing. As people know what the Windsors are, I suppose, whereas I kind of didn't. And I want to mention as well from the second episode, the last sketch with the guy who wanted to befriend the rugby player.
The rugby player, yes.
This reminded me of what's the Head Wound Harry
Massive
sketch.
Head Wound Harry.
Yes. But that times 10.
Yeah.
Because it was not his head. It was
his bollocks.
Yeah, I was going to say his little man's luggage.
Oh, yeah, well.
More a big man's luggage.
Yeah.
Anyway, did you think that went too far? Did you?
No, I didn't. Again, that was one of my favourite things in SNL sketches where it did not go where I was expecting it. Where he just walks off and then suddenly he's mutilated himself and it's like, okay, that was not expected.
Yeah, and you see it. It's not real, but you see it.
Yeah, and
maybe no. So it wasn't a bit too long. I was thinking the end of the next episode, but just went there crazy. The cast and host showing that that's the sort of one you'd think they'd break at, but they didn't.
Yeah.
And there's been a few moments in the first few episodes where they nearly have.
I think Anna Magliano has done a very coy several times. She's told a joke and done that very coy giggle afterwards, but that I think just makes it more endearing.
I noticed that on the second update. She's done that a few times. But I watched the second episode with a mate who's a big fan of American SNL as well. He'll probably listen to this. You better. And he was saying, sort of thing people would pick at, but she didn't fluff any of it. So, I'll quickly mention some stuff for the third episode, but you've not seen it yet. I don't want to spoil it, really.
No, it's fine. I just wanted to mention one other thing. The monologue. We only briefly went over the monologue. But the Pebble collection.
Yeah, Spuds.
And Spuds. Yeah, just like... I have not Googled it, but I imagine it might be true because it did come across as if he was. I don't think he's that good an actor.
Chris O'Dowd as well.
Chris O'Dowd,
who introduced himself as Nemesis and Good Friend.
Nemesis and Good Friend, and called him a pebble slag. Yeah, which was brilliant.
That was funny. Yes. So the third episode, is it Riz Mohammed? Is that the presenter?
Riz Ahmed.
Riz Ahmed, is it?
He was in.
I only know him from Four Lions.
He's also in Rogue One as well.
Okay, he's in Rogue One as well. But okay,
they all are talking about the same person, aren't we?
I know, the presenter of the third episode.
Oh, yeah,
probably. I haven't seen Rogue One for 5-6 years.
He's the pilot in Rogue One. If he is Riz Ahmed.
Yeah, he is.
Riz Ahmed, yeah, he's in Rogue One.
Okay, he's a rapper as well.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
One of those
Yeah, as he says in the monologue, not to spoil it, he doesn't know what he is. As he lists to the video. He's been in a lot of stuff, actually. He's in Venom, Relay. Oh, he's the main actor in Relay. I fell asleep during that. But anyway, Nightcrawler. Yeah. So, yeah, him and Kasabian.
What the greatest Led Zeppelin tribute band?
I don't see they have songs. They have just sort of chants. But no, right, and he dives in the audience, and that they seem to really be enjoying themselves, which again they went down well with the crowd. Opener's good again. There's more bonkers sketches. One of my favourites is it's getting at Traitors. I've never seen Traitors.
Oh, yeah, I do enjoy the Traitors.
But this booth is called Great Big Crab Man. You've basically got to guess which one's the Great Big Crab Man, and they vote off all the people aren't white, but there's a big crab there. So
sounds weirdly accurate for the Traitors.
Yeah. I love the songs. There's a country song about how phones aren't realistic in films, which is quite difficult to explain, but it really worked. A spoof of a 90s retro radio station where they're all just being really over the top and like mad while someone's on there to talk about cancer. Update, they smashed it again. There's an Easter bunny who's pregnant going to a whatever you call I forget the name of it, where they pregnant women go with their partners to
Lamar's class.
Isn't that the American term?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, so if you're American, that you know, if you're not, you're stuck like I am.
Birthing class or
yeah.
Holding, breathing.
We'll call it Preggers Practice.
Preggers Practice.
Yeah.
Preggers Blaze Pop.
Yeah. And there's a absolutely bizarre sketch where a husband gets addicted to the game Operation.
Right.
And that's the one what's doing the rounds from this week.
Okay.
So I won't go too much about the third one because you've not seen it and I've already spoiled some of it. And it'll only be out a few days once this episode's up. But I'm going to come out and say it. I'm very, very impressed with SNL UK to the point of I reckon it will get cancelled because it's good. Well, that's me being negative. And there's been some articles appear on my social media. It's like they're looking to dislike it, but people are liking it.
I saw I don't subscribe to GB News or listen to it because I'm not a racist. I've said it. Yeah. If you're listening to this and you listen to GB News, then what are you doing listening to this podcast? But I've seen an article on my Facebook feed from GB News saying how they lost however many thousand viewers by the second episode because of all the Prince Andrew jokes. It's like, well, they probably didn't.
No, I think
they probably just lost a few viewers because it's the second episode and everyone wants to watch the pilot, and then some people will think it's not for them, which is fine.
Yeah.
I don't think it's because they were slagging off Andrew.
I think with everything that's come out about him, if you're offended by them making fun of him, there's something a bit wrong with you.
Yeah.
You know, that's my personal view. I saw it might have been the same thing about how it dropped even more in the third episode. But the third episode went out on Easter Saturday when everybody's doing other stuff. And I think it's a Saturday night show. We've got to accept what... And it's on at 10. I think in America it's later than that when it goes out.
It's 10 on one coast and 11 on the other coast, yeah.
But people will be out. Yeah. I think for the first episode, people made the effort to watch it live. And now we know. And my mate Graham, who I mentioned earlier, he said himself, he's like, I was going to watch it live, but I'll watch it tomorrow with all the ads out.
Yeah.
So
who watches TV live now anyway?
I was going to say my nan, but she's not live. So
I don't want. Well, after what we've heard about what potentially nans can do. Sorry.
People who've watched the show will know.
Yeah.
So all I can say is I'm going to watch every episode every week. I'm going to keep talking about it.
Yeah.
When we do more of these shows, we're going to aim for, to say one a month again.
Yeah.
But we will try to put more out because just we've got other stuff going on. And we sort of do this as a hobby. But looking at I had a look at the stats, and some of the episodes have done really well. So thank you everyone who's listened.
Yeah.
So we're going to carry on, and it is the sort of thing that, apart from this episode, we're not actually talking about anything current. So we don't have to do them every, as and when, basically. But do keep spreading the word. It's got me interested in British comedy again. It really has.
Yeah.
I don't watch much other stuff, but now we say 9 people. There's 9. I noticed one of the cast members is doing some live shows in London. I might go to that if I can. If not, I'll keep an eye for all of them for doing other stuff. Nothing's proper blown me away again, but there might be some musical acts, especially British ones that I might not have heard of.
Yeah.
I tend to only get into bands who support Harrow Rocks. So there might be stuff on there that I like, and even the 2 British actors who've been on it, or Irish, I didn't know who they are, but now I've taken notice of them.
Yeah.
Even one of them's in a film I really like, and I didn't know.
Yeah.
So once I got his name right.
I think it's interesting. I don't know if it's because this has all happened since they announced, because it was over 6-8 months ago when they were announced it was going to happen. But in that time, you've had shows like Last One Laughing has been a huge success, which is just comedians being comedians, British comedians being British comedians. Obviously, they've done Irish versions as well, but that's been a huge success, and I very much enjoyed it. Mock the Week has returned now on a subscription for all intents and purposes, Amazon and YouTube.
Yeah,
it feels like, even if this hasn't maybe spearheaded it, maybe we're going back to the good days of British comedy shows again with comedians, which is led by comedians and sketch artists, which I don't think we've had other than Taskmaster for a long time.
Yeah, I think as well, our era growing up, you had a lot of sitcoms and a lot of sketch shows like your Russ Abbott and your Harry Enfield. And I remember reading a long time ago about how people did get a bit bored of these shows, but a lot of it was the budget of them, because there's a lot of different sets. Like something like Russ Abbott years ago, they didn't even have many recurring characters, so there was a different set for each sketch. Whereas on this, yes, there's a lot of difference, but it's all on the same stage, and they can adapt it and do more, and then you do get the odd cutaway bit. But I don't imagine the budget for this is as high as, say, Hale and Pace or something like that.
No.
And then after the sort of big era of sketch shows, we had a lot of panel shows, but there was too many of them, and we all got a bit fed up. Bringing Mock the Week back, I think, is a good thing, because that was always one of the better ones. But there was, because originally when I first started watching comedy on a Friday night on BBC Two, Channel 4, the only panel show was Have I Got News for You? But I also,
which wasn't a huge hit to most people, because most people weren't into political comedy, and that was 100% political comedy.
But I always enjoyed that because of Paul Merton, because he was very surreal stuff. And also, it only stopped in America a couple of years ago, but it's on Now TV. Bring back Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Why have we not brought that back?
Because that's easy to make. They could do 2, 3, 4 episodes in a day in a studio. It would work much like the long-running podcast, Richard Herring podcast. He records several over a week, whatever. I don't want to go on about budgets, but TV nowadays, there's so many different channels, and so many things are going to have lower budgets, but there's ways around it. And SNL was run in America for 50 years, so it's a format that works. We haven't touched upon, I don't remember it that well, but do you remember Saturday Live, the first? Because everyone says this is the first attempt. It's the first official attempt. But Saturday Live, even though it had Harry Enfield and Rick Mann and people like that on it,
it was hosted by Ben Elton.
I remember it not being very good.
I remember watching it with my brother and sister who are older than me. And them finding it hilarious. But we would have been
10,
probably 8 to 10, 12 maybe when this was. So it wasn't really anything that we were going to be getting.
And
it was the Harry Enfield stuff we probably would have got.
Loads of money in it. But I remember that all mostly being just on a stage.
It pretty much was. It was character actors doing characters, not sketches.
Yeah.
And you also have random, I guess what you would call, I'm going to say adult entertainers, but not in that sense.
Yeah.
But like there was the whole, in the late 80s, early 90s, there was a huge boom in what was basically modern vaudeville.
Yeah.
Look at me, I'm actually using my degree in comedy.
Yeah.
I have a degree in comedy. How sad is that, ladies and gentlemen? And that came through, so you had people like Mr. Fey, if you remember who that was, who was a guy who could fart on demand and do sounds and could play songs with his anus. And
was that Chris Martin?
No. And other acts like that who would tour universities and that kind of thing, and it was kind of like, you know, the vaudeville of the 50s and 60s and 40s, but in a modern kind of.
Okay, yeah. So because that was sold as the British version of it, but it wasn't. And I think for me, when I saw it, and my history of SNL, I would have been 8 or 9. I had VHS videos of like compilations of Steve Martin. There was a Robin Williams one, and there was one of all the adverts, Saturday Night Live's commercial. And I had the 15th anniversary video. And that'd have been 1990, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So I was quite young when I watched it, and I think in my head, even though I liked Ben Elton and all I was just comparing it too much to the American one, which I loved. But one of the reasons I think I loved it at that age was I'd only watched the compilations, so I'd really seen the better sketches, which is good. I think that's how I've come to love it so much. But yeah, so anything else to add really, apart from? Anyway, well, that's it. Who guests you'd like to see on it? That would be.
Oh, see, that's a.
Yeah.
I'd like to know if they're going to stick with the guests they're going for, because they're clearly going for, with the guests, as much as young as some of the cast may be, they're clearly going for guests who are known to, I would say, people in their 30s and 40s. Maybe late 20s, but mainly 30s and early 40s, with the guests, because that's of course the age range of the guests. But Tina Fey's quite older. But I would like to know if they're going to stick with that, or if they're going to go young. Because obviously the music acts, they're keeping to young music acts.
Yeah, but like I said, the two guests so far, the face of me, I'm going to see myself a fan of either of them.
Yeah.
So I think they should. I think all the guests have worked so far, but it'll be interesting to see them mix it up. I'm always happy for them to get an American old Saturday Night Live cast member on. Whether they do that again, I'm thinking things like there's a new Netflix series with Will Ferrell starting soon.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll get him on. A lot of it, like in America, will depend on what people are promoting.
I would. Tell you two people I would like. I would like Stephen Fry, because I think Stephen Fry should be in everything.
Yeah, true.
And I would like to see James Blunt as the host and not me.
That would work, yeah.
That would work.
Yeah, because he's a funny bloke.
He's a funny bloke.
But not the musical guest, because he's boring.
Yeah, we have a musical guest, but he admits that himself.
Yeah. But
that's two guests I'd like to see.
I'd like to see, big name, because just won an Oscar, Jessie Buckley. Because she can act. So I think she could do comedy well, and being British is someone who I think could do it. Other than that, I was just trying to think of anyone sort of UK based. But there's a lot of some people like Stephen Fry. I think would be brilliant, but later on, I think get more current people at the moment. Does that make sense? And there's a lot of like you mentioned. Taskmaster, a lot of the people who've guested on that who've been in more things would work, but I like that they haven't gone that. They haven't had, apart from Tina Fey, they haven't had a British comedian host it yet.
No,
but I think that's good because there's comedians on it. So it'd be interesting. And as it goes on, if it goes on, which it should, you've got things coming out like there's a new Spaceballs film. Someone like Bill Pullman could go on. Get some legends in, but mix up newer people. So it's exciting. I'm hoping it does well. And I've seen a lot of stuff online about it. There's been a lot of articles about it, and there does seem they're still negative, but there's there's positive coming as well. There's a lot of positive reactions coming out of it. I'm seeing everyone I've spoken to who's watched it isn't that many, but they have liked it. My parents have asked me if I've watched it, so they've seen it advertised.
I think the two things in its favour are, one, that it's got viral moments.
Yeah,
And not to sound all right, not in my day, but we both know that works. We all know that works. To get things a hit, you need viral moments.
Yeah.
No one watches stand-up comedy anymore. What they do is they watch clips of stand-up comedy when they get a heckler and they shoot them down.
Yeah,
That's what stand-up comedy is to youths nowadays. That and the fact that it's. I've just been shown a very, very rude meme to prove that point. And the other thing is, it's who's making it, and the fact it's being made by Sky, who I don't think, even if they stop showing it live, they still have platforms in which, even if it doesn't go out on Sky One anymore, or Sky Max, whatever it's going out on, they still have enough places to put it out as a niche, because they can make money from it. And two, Lorne Michaels is known for his tenacity, and he's never given up on the American one yet.
No. So
when he could have done.
And I think in its favour being on Sky, and so I watch it through Now for TV, which is the same thing, but it's not got the anticipation as in not as much riding on it, say, as if it was made by the BBC or ITV, where they need the figures as much.
Yeah.
As long as it's making them money, it hasn't got to hit a certain. I mean, as big a target.
ITV never could have made it. BBC would be too scared to make it.
Yeah.
Channel 4 might have done, but Channel 4 have got enough money invested in enough baskets. Yeah. When it comes to
that's what I mean. Shows. So it would have to do really, really well for them to maintain it, because there's other stuff they could be putting out what might get. I
mean, they're making how much money from Taskmaster? They make how much money from British Bake Off? Yeah. They've got these other shows which are huge. Why are they going to give up?
Yeah, they've got a countdown, haven't they?
They've got a countdown. Yeah.
Doodle-doo, boom. I haven't watched.
So as much as I don't like Sky, and I've made it clear I do not like Sky. But it's the same as it being on NBC in America. Like the amount of comments in SNL's history against NBC and their corporate practices and stuff. Yeah. I mean, NBC probably aren't as evil as Rupert Murdoch. No. Who is a horrible, horrible human being. Yeah. But
it's SNL, so things like that they will make fun of eventually. I don't think they'd be scared to. And if it does fairly well becomes a cult thing, it's Lorne Michaels has to say at the end of the day, if Sky want rid of it, someone else might pick it up.
Yeah, and it's so you'll end up on Dave. Yeah.
Yeah. You ever had a night out, it's gone wrong, you've ended up on Dave. Poor Dave. So overall, I'm just feeling a bit. I think I liked it so much, I'm just worried it won't last. That's a concern. Yeah, because every comedy show I've ever liked, apart from say Curb and the original SNL, have not lasted as long as I think they should have done.
No, and I think the fact that we were, I don't know, the fact that we like it, is a worry, because you know what, if we'd hated it and it had been as we'd feared and it was hosted by Jimmy Carr, well, don't get me wrong, Jimmy Carr is brilliant on Last One Laughing, but if it was hosted by Jimmy Carr and had Michael McIntyre on, which is what we joked about, and therefore people watched it, we would have hated it. Yeah. But the fact that we like it is probably the scariest thing. Yeah.
Also, since recording that, Jimmy Carr released a film that he co-wrote and is in called Fuck 'em Hall, and it's really good. So we've got to stop me proving wrong.
I don't want to diss Jimmy Carr, because I do think he's funny.
He can be.
He can be funny. He just makes a lot of money. Yeah. And
I do think a lot of his humour is too obvious. Yeah. I tried watching one of his stand-up. I must have mentioned this before, and I just could predict every punchline. Yeah.
Well, he's not original.
No.
But
it's not even the new originals. There we go. Should we wrap it up there?
No, why not?
We're going to do the next episode, which hopefully will be very soon.
Very soon.
On Tina Fey.
Who I'm going to put it out there before we even do it. I will have a lot to say about it because I think she is, after Lorne Michaels, the most important person in SNL history, personally. Which is, I know it's a big statement, but I think she is.
Wow. I think... actually, no, I was going to make a joke, but I think one of the next... Or has it already been announced? Jack Whitehall will be on it. Because he's in the Burbs series, so yeah. I think Jack Whitehall will be on... it might be an American one, though. But anyway. But yeah, she's up there as one of the most influential people, definitely. And Keenan as well, who I think we should do after that.
Yes, I think we should do Keenan after that, yeah.
Yeah, I've got a film with Keenan in. I forget what it's called. I've had it on DVD for ages. It stars him and Jenny McCarthy. So I haven't got high hopes, but I'll let people know what it's like.
Can you guess the one film I've seen that's Keenan's in?
Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Is he in that?
Yeah.
Well, I've not seen that.
That's a brilliant film. Will it be Good Burger?
It would be Good Burger, yes.
I bet he has been in other films you've seen, you've just forgotten.
Maybe. I will do my research before that. But yeah, the Tina Fey one, I've got to do less research because I'm a big fan. Yeah, so we'll be back very soon. Thank you for listening. If you can rate and share and do all that stuff, it really helps. Where are we? Where can you find us?
Does it help if you say the names? Or does the algorithm stop it if you say the other things to listen?
I don't know. We're on all of the main things.
Yeah.
All of the main 4 places you can listen to podcasts. We're on all of them.
And you can follow us on the 2 main
social media things.
We
don't have the one with the really short videos. We don't do that social media thing.
No, and
because with faces like this.
Yeah.
What are we going to be doing? But we're all that. Like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell your mothers. Yeah, we're not on MySpace. No, we are on Friends Reunited. Yes. Thank you for listening. Thank you. And how Irish is your gran? Is this Irish? Goodbye, top of the morning.
I'm Jem.
And I'm Victoria.
And we are childhood best friends with a true crime podcast called
The Criminal Crack. During each episode, one of us presents a true crime case to the other.
And the listener has no idea what the case will be.
So every reaction, question and twisted theory you hear is genuine and off the cuff.
So join us fortnightly on the platform of your choice.
And find us on Facebook, Instagram and TikTok by searching @The Criminal Crack.
Bye-bye.
Keep on trucking.